Hi guys, I welcome you all to the next lecture in our anthropology series. So yesterday we had started the topic 8, research methods in anthropology, where we had already discussed about the fieldwork tradition and how it grew in anthropology, its relevance. So today we are going to look at the ways we collect the data, and before we study that or jump onto our topic, we should first try and understand that why do we have to collect data, or for what reasons the data is to be collected. So before collection of data, you need to set the goal or purpose of your research, right? Because if you do not have a clear objective or goal in your mind of what you're going to achieve from that data, वो data का कोई relevance नहीं होगा, right? So then what kind of data you are planning on gathering? For example, if I want to see the employment scenario or employment status in a rural setting, right? मैं rural villages या कुछ भी उनका employment status देखना चाहती हूँ. How many women have employment? How many males have? Whether they have it in the formal organization or informal organization, whether they have it in agriculture or manufacturing. So all this is what my goal or purpose of the research is, and how am I going to plan of gathering the data. Then what methods and procedures am I going to use to collect or store or process the information. For example, if I am taking a village in my mind, that means a lot of the people whom I am going to interview, they might not be literate, right? So a lot of questionnaires or other tools which require your interviewees to be literate might not be well suited for that research, right? So that is what it is. You have to see कौन सा method लगाना है, कौन सा procedure लगाना है, and all of that. So in short, we can say data collection क्या होता है? It is a process of gathering, measuring and analyzing accurate data from a variety of relevant sources to find answers to the research problems. Research problem क्या है? Employment generation in rural areas. ये मेरा research का topic है या research problem है. Then data collection would be the first step. और data collection में क्या हो गया? Gathering the information, measuring and analyzing the information, right? So I hope you have understood the basis of it. Now we have to talk about data collection. We have understood that what is data collection, why do we need to collect data, because without the data, without relevant information, we cannot come to a conclusion. That is why we need data. Data में we need to collect the information, ठीक है, we need to measure it and analyze it, because सिर्फ data in its raw form is not going to help. We have to take out logical conclusions from those data, and these logical conclusions further are going to help us solve the problems. Which problems? The problems for which we have chosen to do this research, right? So it will help us solve the research problem. So we have understood till here, but now data collection is in itself a big topic, because how you're going to come to that conclusion or how you're going to collect the data is very important. And पूरा रिसर्च जो है इस बात पे टिका हुआ होता है कि आपकी हाउ नाइसली हैव यू कलेक्टेड द डेटा. सो अगर आपका डेटा ऑथेंटिक नहीं है, आपकी रिसर्च कभी भी ऑथेंटिक नहीं होगी, राइट? सो डेटा कलेक्शन फर्स्ट स्टेप है एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप, बिकॉज इफ योर डेटा इज गुड, इट इज रेलिवेंट, इट इज ऑथेंटिक, आपका रिसर्च भी ऑथेंटिक होगा. सो डेटा टू टाइप्स का होता है. One is a qualitative and one is quantitative. So from the name itself, you can guess that one data which deals with numbers, statistics, right, percentages, averages, all of this, मतलब जिसको आप quantify कर सकते हो, that is quantifiable data or quantitative data. Qualitative data would be, as the word only says, it is qualitative. So that means it is unstructured. आप उसको क्वांटिफाई नहीं कर सकते. इट इज़ नॉट ईजिली क्वांटिफाइबल, बट अगेन इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज देन इट गिव्स यू एन इन डेप्थ नॉलेज of events or phenomena. And basically when we say that, when we talk about anthropology or sociology or psychology, everything you cannot research with the help of only quantity or percentages, because humans have innate qualities to them. ठीक है, उसको आप quantify भी इतनी आसानी से नहीं कर सकते. That is why even qualitative data is very important. And if you have to have a balanced data, right? So it is said that quantitative plus qualitative data, there should be a fine balance of both of it, because you cannot have only one kind of data and then base your research on it. So both are required, okay, for a good research to happen. Then this is two types of data that you have, and then there are sources. So one is a primary source and other is the secondary source. So name itself tells. Primary means first time data. That means if I am the researcher, I have collected that data. That means it's a primary source. So primary source का फायदा ये है that if I have collected the data, I am going to remain true to my research problem. My data would be according to the thing I want to study or base my research upon. So that data is the most reliable, accurate and authentic data. But the problem is that it is going to take a lot of time. It is going to be expensive because I will have to stay there. I will have to take out time and do the research work. So it is both time consuming and expensive. But it has the advantage of being the most reliable kind of source, because data, if you for example, if you are doing a research on the employment scenario in villages of India, okay, and if I choose a secondary source and that secondary source happens to be certain government agency ka data, right? If I take Ministry of Labor and Labor Ministry का मैं data ले लेती हूँ, they might have collected it from some other perspective. That means उनका data, though they have data, but it might be not village centric, right? उनका data might not be village centric. Or if I need data based on कि villages में कितने males work कर रहे हैं, कितने females work कर रहे हैं, कितने formal organization में कर रहे हैं, कितने informal में कर रहे हैं. So it might not be focused on formal and informal sector. It might be focused on some other thing, wage labor or fixed labor, right? So data, that means till the time I'm not collecting the data, that data might not suit. It might not suit my requirements, right? So primary data का सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये होता है, because you have your research problem, you have your set goals, so according to that you can maneuver or manipulate your research. The kind of data that you want, you can extract. And then comes the secondary source. Secondary source itself says that means second hand data. That means even if you are taking out the research and आप fresh data ही collect करवाते हो, but it is not you who's collecting the data. That means even then you are extracting the data from somebody else. So even that will come in the secondary source only. आप किसी already published, unpublished source से data लेते हो, for example government source से लेते हो, some other research paper of some university students, ठीक है, it could be that data, or you specially employ certain person to do the research for you on your behalf, even that will come in the secondary source. So secondary source का फायदा ये होता है that it is quick, it is not time consuming, it is cheaper and easier to obtain, right? Many a times if you want labor पे कुछ चाहिए तो आप labor ministry का data use कर लो, so it is quick, cheap, easy, right? But problem ये है कि it might not be accurate and authentic, again because it might not be well suited. थोड़ा बहुत जो आपको extract करना है information you might take out, but then वो data पुराना हो सकता है. For example government का जो data होता है, many a times it is decadal or quinquennial datas, right? So it might not be very well suited in your time. For example, post COVID a lot of things have changed. So if we use a data that was pre-COVID, so it might not well suit your research, right? So that is what it is. Now we'll come to, now today what I'm going to do is, we are covering as I've told you, we are talking about data collection. You have understood what data collection is, what are primary sources, what are secondary sources, what is a quantitative data and what is qualitative data. So data collection में we are doing primary sources. That means when the researcher itself goes and take the data. So isme the first technique that comes is the interview technique. So interview is very simple. You will go and ask the questions, and it could be either direct interview, that means you go and physically meet the person, face to face interview होएगा, or otherwise it could be a telephonic or via internet. You can just mail the person that this is the data I require, and you will take their interview. So this is by far the most common way of gathering information. So if you have to take any research, if you have to conduct any research, interview is by far the most used method, right? So it has a you can say advantage of that आपको in depth information मिलती है. First thing is this, that you will get an in depth information. Second thing is that first hand information you will get from the person who is feeling or in that experience, right? So that thing is there, but then again it is very time consuming, it is expensive, right? Because you have to, if you have to go physically, then it is going to take a lot of your time and expense to go and meet people, collect data, right? So it is expensive, it is time consuming, and there is a bias. इसमें there is a double bias. How? Now there is एक interviewer है who's taking the interview, and there is an interviewee who is giving the interview. So he might be also biased, and he might be also biased. For example, the question is that should we have a patriarchal society, or should the society be male dominated? So अगर interviewer एक orthodox विचार का इंसान है, a person is of orthodox ideas, so he might be very convinced that patriarchy should be there, and this person, because he is a feminist, he believes that patriarchy should not be there. So both will have their own biases, so there will be a double bias. ठीक है? So first thing is interviews. इसमें face to face you go interact with the person, either through telephone also you can do, internet से भी कर सकते हो. So interviews, you know. Then comes the survey and questionnaire. So now survey, questionnaire से आप एक survey बना सकते हो, right? Survey क्या होता है? जैसे household surveys होते हैं, government of India does many household surveys, right? So उसमें what they do is basically questionnaire technique is used. So क्या होता है? You know, there are a set of questions that are there, ठीक है? And these questions can be oral, these questions can be written down, these questions can be open-ended, these questions can be closed-ended also. That means ये subjective हो सकते हैं या objective भी हो सकते हैं. They can be MCQ types, they can be other kind of answer writing वाले भी हो सकते हैं. So questionnaire में there is a lot of variety of things that can be techniques that can be used. So after giving the required responses, the survey is given back to the researcher. Now you get, like for example, you have taken 100 questionnaires, you have distributed across mensurating girls, for example, and you have taken their responses. Now you will have to collate that data also. आपको compile करना है ना वो data. So researcher क्या करेगा? Based on that questionnaires or whatever information that he has got, he will compile that data. ठीक है? So there are two kind of surveys, online and offline. Again offline हो गया face to face or physical, and online हो गया with the help of internet वगैरह. Today even social media, right? Social media, internet, all these things are a very cheap, quick source of getting the information. So even today online ways are getting a lot popular. But इसके pros क्या हैं? That means you have adequate time to give response. That means you if you are the person who is giving the responses, ठीक है? In a oral conversation में, interview में क्या problem है? That you might not be able to express yourself better. But when you have time, when you have a questionnaire in your mail, you will think and you will react accordingly. You will get sufficient time to respond. So then you know data authentic होता है, right? So it is free from the bias of the interviewer. Because if I am not physically meeting you, if I am dropping a questionnaire in your mail, you might not know what my biases are. You just have to fill your answers based on the questions that you see. Then they are cheaper compared to the interview, because again, if you physically have to go and take people's interview, it becomes a lot expensive. But iske, if this has pros, it does have cons also, and the cons are that people might not respond to you. Many times, if you must have seen that movie Padman also, पैडमैन आपने अगर देखी थी, तो अक्षय कुमार goes to the this university or college where there are menstruating women and he gives them a questionnaire to fill, and वो लड़की अकेले बैठ के कुछ fill कर देती है because nobody wants to respond. So high rate of non-response रहता है. Then it is inflexible and can't be changed once sent. For example, if I have sent my response, even if I have any other view contrary to that afterwards, I cannot change it because now I have sent my response. And many times people do not even read the questions carefully and they just tick mark, right? So उससे वहाँ पे गड़बड़ होने के चांस रहते हैं. And it's a slow process because some people might take 30 days, some people might say 20 days, कोई लोग भेजे ही ना. तो till how much time should you wait to collect those responses is time consuming. Guys, I'm not focusing more on this because these, जैसे for example observation method ही है, so you have to write around 2-3 lines because कोई question भी सिर्फ questionnaire पे नहीं आएगा, right? If the question comes on primary data collection, so you have to write only 2-3 lines, so you just need to understand it, and these are basic things I think that everybody knows only, so that is why I'm not going very deep into it because that is not required. The topics that I feel that are more required, I will rather focus on that, right? So let's go on the observation method. Now observation method, participation, observation is the same thing. We have discussed it a lot of times. So observation method में क्या होता है? You go on the behavior. So it's a behavioral science. That means you are observing people, what they are doing, and based on that you are noting down your responses. So you're not asking them per se. You might ask them also, but then you are judging their behavior also. So it's a controlled, it can happen in a controlled and uncontrolled setting. That means approaches for an observation is controlled and uncontrolled. Controlled and uncontrolled का मतलब ये है that whenever controlled setting means it's not happening in its natural environment. For example, you've called certain person. For example, if there is some person in a prison, right? He is constantly under observation of the policemen, right? So they are noticing their behavior, they are noticing what they are doing and observing, and based on that they are thinking something or making a judgment in their mind. So that would be not a natural setting. Natural setting क्या हो गया? जहाँ पे वो लोग रहते हैं, whatever culture they have, whatever society they have, you go there and then observe them, right? So that would be a uncontrolled setting. And same इसका भी problem है that it is very expensive, ठीक है, time consuming है. If you have to go live with those people, observe them for years, as Malinowski said, you should live there for 2-3 years to have authentic data. So it is very time consuming, right? So this is observation method. Then comes the focus group. Now focus group, or you can say interview method, is quite similar, and even focus group is quite commonly used, but the difference is that in interview what you are doing is you are asking them questions and then they are responding. In focus group what is happening, there is a person who's called the moderator. Instead of calling him a interviewer, he is called a moderator. Why moderator? Because he has a you can say slightly a passive role to play. He doesn't have that active role to play as in the interview setup. Interview में you go, you ask questions and the person responds. But in this, there are a group of people, you can say anywhere around half a dozen people, ठीक है, they are brought together to discuss. Okay, so the key word is discussion and not question answering session. So इधर discussions होते हैं, ठीक है. So that is why it is different from interview. उसमें आप questions पूछते हो, इसमें आप discussion and interaction करते हो. For example, if I get a group of cancer patients and then they or not cancer patients, for example, certain consumer of a brand, ठीक है, जैसे मैं बोलूँ कोई सम पीपल डव यूज करते हैं, राइट? अब डव के जो प्रोडक्ट्स यूज करते हैं, वी गेट सर्टन फीमेल्स यूजिंग डव प्रोडक्ट्स, ठीक है? एंड नाउ आई विल आस्क देम कि whether you like the products, and then they will discuss on their own. Not, I will not, as a moderator, will not prompt them. They will discuss on their own, and then I will take their responses. But iska bhi problem ye hai that every person will come with their own response bias, right? That means if there are like this 6 people whom I'm taking as a focus group, they might have their own biases because she might not like Dove. She might not, she might like it, she might feel that the products are very costly. So they everybody have their own bias. So bias to aa jayega, theek hai? So this was focus group. Then comes the schedule. Now schedule and questionnaire are again similar techniques, but the difference is questionnaire mein nobody will tell you. You will tell them the question, they will answer themselves either in written form or in oral form, any which ways. But in schedule, you as a person are there to explain them. You are an enumerator, you are trained to perform this job with very patience. That means if your population is illiterate and you want them to answer certain questions, right? So you go to this village, you start collecting the data, and because they are illiterate, they might not be able to read the questions, so you will read the question for them. You will tell them the question, and when they answer, you might write it down, right? So you are helping them. These enumerators are specially appointed for the purpose of filling the schedule, right? So difference kya hai questionnaire mein? Once the question is told, now it is up to that person to respond and how he wants to respond, what he wants to respond. So यहाँ पे ना एक problem ये भी होता है, that means if you have misunderstood the question or you have not understood the question, so you can't do anything about it, because then there is no way that you can understand that question, right? But schedule में there is person who will explain, may remove your misunderstandings if there are any, and will help you. तो translate कर सकते हैं, they might translate the questions for you, right? Or they might help you in any other way. So this is how schedule is different from a questionnaire. So yes, we have finished the primary sources of data collection. So tomorrow we have some other left in primary also. Those are like case studies, life histories. Some are left, so we'll try and cover that tomorrow, right? So guys, if you did like it, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.